Email marketing is one of the most effective ways of marketing if you're running an e-commerce website. And you know what? Most small businesses just simply do not send enough emails. If you look in your inbox, you probably see loads of emails from all the big brands on the high street and all the rest of it. And in fact, see how often they send those to you. They're doing it for a reason. They're doing it because it's really low cost and it translates to sales. So don't be confused by spam and sending people stuff they don't want. People are actually crying out for information on things they're actually interested in. So never be afraid to email your contacts and customers. Now, Seller has got loads of email marketing features built into it, and I'm just going to give you an overview on what they are. So if we take a look at this is the Seller control panel, and we look at the marketing menu at the top. And if I hover over email marketing, you'll see we've got some options here. I'll just go through each of these really quickly so you can see what email functionality is available. So if I click on schedule emails, so with the email scheduler, you just simply create an email and you send it to a group of your contacts. They might be people that you've sold to in the past. They might be people that have expressed an interest in your products, or there may be a list of contacts that you've imported into the Seller system. Once you create and send an email, then you'll see statistics in here of how many you sent, how many people read the email, how many responded or took an action in the email, how many unsubscribed, if it was an opt-in email, how many opted in. And if you have hyperlinks in the email, you can even see how many times each hyperlink in the email was clicked on, so you can see what people are interested in. So as well as the email scheduler, there's a whole contact management system in Seller where you can create lists of customers and contacts based on all sorts of things. So you can create lists of contacts based on what they've purchased from you in the past, for example, and loads of other criteria. So you can really target email campaigns. But you know what? If you're not doing it at the moment, it's just a really good idea to send everyone on your list who's agreed to accept emails, of course, an email at least once every couple of weeks, because just by reminding them that you're there can often result in sales. So let's take a look at the next one. We've been to the marketing menu and email marketing. The next one is on-page email sign-up. So this really actually, in fact, I'm going to skip that and I'm going to go right down to the bottom to autoresponders. And in fact, prospect sequences. So autoresponders, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but autoresponders are probably the biggest secret of internet marketing. And what they are, they're a list of emails that you've written in advance, and they're sent to a recipient at a time relative to when they sign up to receiving the emails. So let's say, for example, on your website, let's say you were selling, I don't know, hairbrushes, then you might have a sign-up form on your website that says enter your first name here and your email address, and we'll send you details on the top 10 hairstyles this season, you know, that kind of thing. And people are crying out for stuff they're interested in, as I said earlier. And so just by having this, then you will get people interested in it. And when people sign up to that, you've written up to 25 emails, which are then sent to them relative to the time they signed up. So if I went onto your website now and I signed up now, I'd get that first email, but then perhaps, 2 hours later, I get another email from you. 2 days later, another email after that. A week later, I might get another email from you, and you've prepared all this in advance. You only set it up once, and then it can be sent again and again and again to different contacts. And the beauty of it is because you're sending it out at a time relative to when they signed up, it's kind of personal, and people really respond well to that. It's like you'll get loads of replies from people who think you've sat down and you've actually written them the email specifically to them. And you know what? Creating that kind of relationship with people you don't know who are visiting your website is a great way of increasing sales, because people buy from shops and websites that they feel like they can trust. And this is a great way of increasing that trust relationship. So that's what autoresponders are. And in fact, this one here, there's various different autoresponders on here. So this is a prospect email sequence autoresponder. And as I mentioned, that's where you might have a pop-up on your website or a sign-up on your website asking people to sign up. And when they do, they start receiving your emails. But as well as that, there's various other autoresponders you can have as well. So prospect sequences, as I just mentioned, a customer sequence is a sequence of emails when someone buys from your website. So they buy from your website and then you send them a whole range of emails from the time that they made that purchase. Item sequences, these are sequences of emails that are relative to an item, or they relate to an item that they've purchased. So let's say, I was thinking about hairbrushes. Let's say someone's bought a very specific hairbrush. Then you can send them a whole sequence of emails about how to look after it, the styles they can do with it, the amazing things they can do. And your customers will just think you're going the extra mile with all this information that you send them. Welcome back sequence. This is a really interesting one. So this is where if someone goes on your website today and they buy something from you, and then perhaps they don't even visit your website for the next, 6 months, and then they just happen to visit your website, that just them visiting a website will fire out an email to them. And you can write it. You might say stuff like, oh, hi, we haven't seen you for ages. Here's a promotional code you can use to get 10% off because we're so pleased to see you back, or something similar to that. So that's the welcome back sequence. Now, there's the other options in here that I was going to point to here. On-page email sign-up. So these are ways of getting your people to sign up to your lists. An on-page email sign-up, that's like, for example, you might have in the footer, sign up to our list, where they enter their first name and email address, or a pop-up email sign-up. You can have it so that when they've been on your website for a few minutes or a second, then a pop-up appears asking them to sign up. And these are all definable. And we've got specific screencasts on how to set each of these up. So do check those out if you're interested in those. And then finally, we've got follow-up emails. So if I click on follow-up emails, there's two types of follow-up emails. There's purchase-based follow-up emails and abandonment follow-up emails. So you can send emails to people who follow-up emails to people who've bought a specific product. This isn't a sequence of emails, so it's not the same as the item autoresponder. This is a single email that you can send at a specific time after a purchase. So let's say, for example, you're selling ink cartridges. You might send them an email, I don't know, 2 months after they bought the ink cartridge, prompting them to buy some more. Because, with consumables, they've got a limited time period where they'll be used for, and then people can respond really well to you, reminding them that they may have run out, and they can come back to you really easily and buy some more. That's the kind of thing you use it for. Abandonment follow-ups, so that's where someone's put a specific product in your basket, but then they don't complete the purchase. So you can send them an automated message saying, oh, you were going to buy this particular ink cartridge. Do let us know if there's any help you need with this specific model, because we've got experts here who can help you, or something similar to that. Just these tiny points of contact can make a huge difference. And the beauty of it is you only set this up once, and everyone who goes to your website can benefit from this. And it's like an automated system that generates trust with your store, and ultimately, because of that, hopefully more sales. So with this screen, you can choose a category of products that will trigger the follow-up email, or a global follow-up. In other words, a follow-up email that's just sent to anyone that buys anything from you. But if you want to do specific product-based follow-ups, then you go into the item manager, manage items. And if I click on a random product here, in fact, I've set this up already, you can just expand the follow-up section here, and you'll see here I've set up an email, and you can say when it is sent, so whether it's sent instantly after they've made a purchase, or so many hours or days later. So for item-based follow-up emails, you do it on the item manager. But for more general ones based on categories or just a global follow-up, then you do it on the follow-up emails screen. So as you can see, there's loads of different types of emails that you can set up on Seller, and take a look at the individual screencasts we've got on each one to find out exactly how to set each of these up.